Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Are you feeling liberated? Let me know in the comments below, because stocks have tumbled, crypto has tumbled, everybody is feeling uncertain. There's definitely uncertainty and doubt there. Is there opportunity in this, or is this definitely the time, or should we have taken beforehand, gone to less riskier assets like gold and bonds? Should we have done that, or are we just degens who just want to keep on DCAing in and buying up the crypto and the tech stocks? Because when this turns around, are we going to make some big moves to the upside? Obviously, it's all about risk and having a risk management as well. But here it says it all clear. Stocks tumble on bigger than expected Trump tariffs. So what we got here, Trump imposed a minimum 10% tariff on all exports to the US. European stocks tumble, tracking declines in Asia. German ones of a clear, decisive response if no compromise is reached. The EU is yet to set out details on possible retaliation to US tariffs. Now, bear that in mind, they did say yesterday that obviously they're going to do negotiations. Now, if that doesn't work, then obviously they will be coming out with possible retaliation. So we are sort of in a trade war at the moment. The bloc faces duties of 20% on China. It's hit with a 54% levy. Now, don't forget that it says 54, but actually add another 10% on top of that, because when Donald Trump was in power last time, he did add 10% prior to this. So it should be around about 64% really. But the baseline change to the start of April the 5th is high duties to kick in April 9th, and it all starts today. So, you know, obviously this is going to potentially on the good side, could boost US manufacturing. Trump claims, he claims that the tariffs will revive America's industry by encouraging companies to relocate production to the US so they can avoid these kind of tariffs, and also trade deficit reduction. The policy also aims to address the what he calls the horrendous imbalance in trade, which could impose the US trade balance, with countries like China benefiting the domestic economy in the long term, revenue generation as well. Tariffs could also generate significant income to the US as well. But also what we've got to look at the bad side of this is also, this could also give out global market instability. Stock markets worldwide, as we know, plunged. The S&P 500 losing 4.6% in Q1 of 2025. And basically economic analysts sort of say, warn of potential global recession that could be knocking on the door. And also it is inflationary as well. So what will the Jerome Powells be doing on this? Obviously, will they be just sitting tight? Will they be cutting rates? Or will they be just pausing? So the pressure to pause or raise rates at the moment, raising inflation could be on the doorstep. So obviously, we've got to bear that one in mind. And with tariffs are expected to drive up prices from, you know, like imported goods, adding inflationary pressure with the US consumption price, already focal point with the Federal Reserve, that they might pause the rates, cutting the cycle to assess the tariffs impacts. Because at the moment, we're not too sure at the moment, but at the moment, if it's inflationary accelerated beyond the Fed's 2% target, say, mirroring a 0.2 to 0.4 point bump from the past tariffs, it could even prompt a rate hike to cool demand. So we just got to bear that one in mind. We know they are reducing QT, going into QE, so it's going to be very, very interesting. And this is what's giving a lot of uncertainty to the markets, because what we could see here as well, we could see what tariffs have been hit. China has been hit by 67%. Because US discounted to 34%. Now, these are reciprocal. So what does that mean, reciprocal? Basically, if the EU, for an example, turned around and said to the US, we will give you 0 tariffs now, then obviously the US could turn around and also give 0 tariffs as too. So we just got to bear that in mind. But anyway, so we can see here, this is the table. This is what was shown yesterday on Donald Trump. So this is giving a lot of uncertainty at the moment. But what we can look at the Bitcoin and the crypto space at the moment, wow, we just took out that liquidity towards the top side there, hitting around about, around about that 88,000. And then suddenly we declined because the stock market also declined. So we've eaten all that liquidity at the moment. And basically what's happened at this point in time it's just going to, I feel like it's just going to be sideways action unless the US market opens today with an absolutely massive decline. And obviously that's going to put pressure on the crypto market towards the downside as well, because we have seen gold making rallies as well, because we've seen a lot of investors going into bonds and gold. So we just got to bear that one in mind. But it's, you know, you can look at this as an opportunity, but that comes risk that we could drop down even further, because like I said, at the moment with the tariffs, we do not know if this negotiations with the EU, for an example, or China, these negotiations don't work. And then obviously, then they're going to counter these tariffs, what Donald Trump's done. So it's going to put a lot of uncertainty and a lot of pressure on the economy as well. Now, what we can see also, there's a lot of longs got liquidated and a lot of shorts got liquidated as well in the crypto space. So yeah, it's been certainly highly volatile. But like I said, in the stock markets, Apple really did get hit because obviously they deal with a lot of Asia as well. They have a lot of imports from their mobile phones and other chips and whatnot as well. So obviously this is going to give a lot of uncertainty in terms of the prices of mobile phones. So we just got to bear that in mind. This is not just that. You're looking at NVIDIA as well. Tesla also got hit. Obviously, so obviously a lot of the big seven have been hit really hard at the moment. We also seen the Dixie have also really is declining. They've lost these levels of support, which is generally is good for the Bitcoin. But at the moment, with this uncertainty, it's sort of countering that at the moment. We've lost it. So we see the dollar at the moment down around about that 7% at this point in time. So obviously today's going to be a big day when the markets open in the US. But Bitcoin at the moment, we obviously, like I said, over the early last year and early this year, we were sort of chopping around sideways. We've lost support because obviously this tariff news has come down. And basically, we've lost the 50 and the 20 EMA as well. And also, we've lost the 200 EMA. So, but looking on the weekly at the moment, we can see the money flow has been coming in. But if we zoom out, what we could see here on the trend line, that we've been higher lows all the way up. Higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs. And now we're coming up to this point here. If I could zoom in a little bit more, we're coming up to support down here. Now, we could come down to around about that $76,000 potentially and retest this area of support. Now, what we can see is the money flow has been gradually coming out towards the downside, but also, like I said, we're sort of like chopping sideways on the Cypher B with money outflow at the moment. It's just chopping along the sideways action at this point in time. So what is happening at the moment? The market's pushed up yesterday, come back down today, and obviously it's washed out a lot of leverage traders at the moment. So I think during today, I think it's just going to be a lot of sideways price action, depending on what happens later on in the US as well. So we've just got to be prepared for that. And don't forget, also, we are in that bear moon phase, if you believe in all this. But it seems to have played out quite well. We had the bear moon there. We plunged straight down towards that 200 EMA. And again, we had it back here on the 27th of February, come back down. But look, we had the bull moon. That pushed us up. Bear moon, are we going to come back down and test those potentially $70,000, which is obviously going to have an impact on a lot of the altcoins as well. And that is why I'm being very, very cautious at the moment. So we just got to bear that one in mind. But like I said, going on to like the loaded lines at the moment, on the Crypto.com's loaded lines, let's go into that now because I'm really excited regarding the loaded lines because we've got market cap sitting at 2.29 billion. Volume is at 3.37 million. So we have come down a little bit on the day, but look on the monthly. The monthly has just been massive giga move towards the upside. I had the airdrop. I was buying around this region here. I'm holding my line token. I own around about 600,000 to 700,000, 600,000 to 700,000 line tokens at the moment. Now, if we do drop down, I will buy a little bit more if we really have a significant breakdown towards the downside. Because with the loaded lines, there's potentially to go on other exchanges. There's lots going on as well. You can lock it up and get a massive amount of APR on that, on your lockup in the vault. But also, we're waiting to see, will we get on Ethereum? Will we get onto more exchanges as well? This is really exciting times. We've got Main City really roaring away as well. The NFTs out there as well. But don't forget, what I like about this loaded lions token, there's a big big community behind it. Loads of lines out there. Just go on X, check it out, because there's lots of community, and that's what makes this really, really strong and exciting. It's all brand new as well. We can see the Lone Tiger. We can see here, we've actually maintained. We just dropped a bit below that 20 EMA, but strongly above that 50 EMA as well. So, but this is really, really exciting times because it's really early days. And I think low lines, yes, obviously Bitcoin pulls back. That could well pull back towards the downside as well. You never know. We could even come back down to this kind of area down here. We just got to bear that in mind. But for me, if you do come down to this area here, that's an opportunity for me to DCA in a little bit more. Bit more money outflows been coming out gradually. But I'm not surprised because the markets have been fairly weak in the crypto and the stock markets as well. But the community is very, very strong. CRO as well. Obviously, we've had that downward time. Obviously, like with a lot of the altcoins as well, have been really weak against Bitcoin pairing too. But obviously, we've had that money outflow really, really coming out as well. But even though we had that bad news regarding the burns getting reversed, we have got things to look forward to in potentially in the near future in terms of the CRO ETFs and what else are they cooking up behind closed doors. So we know, for me personally, I've got my bag of CRO. I'm just holding it. I'm just sitting tight, not buying no more. But I will buy a little bit more of the loaded lines if we do drop down a little bit more as well. But generally, I'm just holding tight. Yeah, seeing what happens today in terms of the market. So be very cautious today. If you are leverage trading, please be very careful. This is a very volatile market. Obviously, there's a lot of chop action as well. So you just got to bear that in mind. Be careful out there. But also check out my Bitcoin mining videos as well. And if you want to buy any kind of Bitcoin mining, go to Tiny Chip Hub and use Dr. Crypto 76 as well as to get up to 5% discount as well. So yeah, overall, optimistic in terms of the medium to long term. Short term, it's going to be very volatile and cautious as to the wind. And do not forget, also, before I go, the trend is your friend. And at the moment, the market is trending downwards. So just bear that in mind until something changes. So just bear that one in mind. Give us a like and give us a subscribe. And I'll take care. And I'll see you soon in the next video.